All right, I'm done with my rant. Let's get into the reading. Divine Feminine, what message of the universe have for you? And the first card that I got was the Two of Wands. Like, look how beautiful that is. These cards are like my favorite tarot deck because it's just magical and it reminds me of a fairy tale. But this is like a purple moon in the background, and that's like looks like the Taj Mahal or something, like a temple in the mountains, and the number on this card is 23. So, what does the Two of Wands mean? I have to look it up because I'm still not a pro yet. But it signifies planning, decision making, and new opportunities, often related to taking initiative and expanding horizons. It can also represent a choice between staying in a comfortable situation or venturing into the unknown. Okay, so, few things. You are on this path where you're planning, you're contemplating your decisions, and you're going after new opportunities. You're seeking out new opportunities, right? And the thing is, this could also be like a past thing that where you made a decision to venture into the unknown, and now you're like kind of at that place where you're contemplating whether you're staying in your comfort zone or whether you're continuing to venture out and make take new opportunities, and if you made the right decision with where you are at, right? But this could also be that like so sorry, I'm like hearing so many different things. So this could be that like you're in this point where you are, say you took a new risk and you went towards something that was unfamiliar, right? But now that it's been, let's say, 6 months, a year, 2 years that you've been in that place, and maybe you've been in isolation, you've been in hermit mode, maybe you've been like kind of in your bubble, healing, working on your nervous system, and now you're wondering, are you in your comfort zone or are you venturing into the unknown, right? So you're contemplating if you're staying in a comfortable situation or are you literally going forward. Or it could be that you left a situation that was comfortable and ventured out into the unknown. So this could be like a past card that like, hey, you were in a super situation that could have been toxic but felt comfortable because it was familiar. And now that you ventured onto a new place, you're like, oh shoot, like I'm in a new place, what do I do here? But I'm gonna keep trusting and taking aligned action and seeing where it leads me. But it, and now you're in this, not but now you're in this place where you're planning, you're manifesting, you're thinking about what you want, if you want to stay there or move on to somewhere else or go back to another place that you were before, but not staying in your comfort zone but just going after the opportunities that arise. So it's like almost like you're in this place where you're like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing the things that I'm doing, but as opportunities arise, I'm gonna go after them. I'm not gonna say no to these opportunities. I'm gonna trust my intuition and say this is an opportunity that's gonna benefit me and allow me to grow more and allow me to serve and help others and just go on a path where I'm progressing more and more forward, right? So it's by you taking on those new opportunities, you're expanding your horizons. And then, hold on. All right, now that I'm looking at the second card, it's the story starting to piece together. So the Five of Swords is the second card, and the Five of Swords represents conflict, disagreement, and challenges, often involving a win at all costs mentality. It can signify arguments, tension, and even feeling of defeat or low self-esteem. The card suggests that while you might achieve a temporary victory, it could come at the expense of relationships or create a sense of isolation. It also encourages introspection about the methods used to achieve goals and whether the victory is truly worth the cost. Okay, so what I was saying about this. So either you left a situation that you felt that was comfortable, and that situation came with like arguments, tensions, all of these things that like made you feel like you were falling apart. So it's like you left a situation that you quote unquote thought was comfortable, but was filled with a bunch of challenges in order to venture on to a new situation that is still filled with a new set of challenges. So it's filled with challenges, but you have this mentality where you want to win at all costs. So you're like, I'm gonna keep pushing forward, and the win for you. And I know it says like is it worth it and whatnot, that you might achieve temporary victory. But for you, the win is worth it because it's about your growth. You're willing to cut out anybody that's not serving you, that's bringing you down, that is causing you conflict, that's not making you feel like you have low self-esteem, that's not building you up, that's breaking you down. So for you, it's like, it is worth it because you're like, no, I'm not tolerating this anymore. I'm not tolerating people that don't see my worth, that bring me down, that don't are not there for me when I'm going through my struggles, right? That abandon you when you go through your hard time. You're like, I'm only accepting people that are not just going to be there for me for my ups, that are going to be there and help me, talk me through, or just be an ear to listen to when I'm going through my hard times, right? Because everything's not going to be peaches and rainbows. So it's like, is the victory truly worth it? Like, yeah, the victory has been truly worth it because of the fact that you've been gaining peace. You've been gaining, like, a sense of clarity. Like, you've been trusting yourself more. You've been standing in your authenticity. So the victory has been worth it. And, like, you not giving up and pursuing your passions, you are attracting in new opportunities. What this is saying, right? There's new opportunities, decisions to be made, and it's because of the fact that you're letting go of the things, people, places, and things that bring you conflict, right? Like, you came from a place where you were filled with conflict and disagreements and challenges, and yet you still push forward. You still had that mentality, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna get through this, I'm not gonna give up, right? Even through the arguments, even through the tensions, even through the defeat. So it's like one of those things that you could still also be working on, not allowing people to trigger you, right? People, places, and things to trigger you, that you're recognizing what triggers you, what makes you overwhelmed, what makes you feel frustrated, who triggers you, do they deserve to have a place in your life, like, at what extent, right? Like, all of these things you have been reflecting on. Like, for example, with family, if they're just bringing you down and not there for you, then you're like, no, like, this is not worth it for me, right? Like, if they don't respect your boundaries, then that's not worth it for you, right? So you're trying to limit the disagreements that you have with people, because and then the winning at all costs could also be that you're like, I'm not going to get through this person, like, no matter how many times I explain to them my perspective and how you feel, they're just not going to understand because they have their own perception and they want you to agree with them. So you're like, it's not worth it for me to win, because me trying to get them to understand you're not going to win in that situation. It's a no-win situation because it just makes you feel drained after. So you're trying to get them to understand you, but they're choosing not to. So you're like, I just gotta, like, just not argue with this person, right? And then the other thing I heard that was coming in was like, oh shoot, I forgot it. It was just coming in. I don't remember. Maybe I'll remember after. So yeah, the other thing I was hearing, so it's like these conflicts with people that you had could have cost you to lose relationships with people, friends, family, people that you were close to, relationships, and that could have put you in a state of isolation. But at the end of the day, those release of those relationships are attracting in new relationships that are on the higher frequency that you've been working on. So you've been working on yourself, you've been working on your self-love, you've been working on building yourself and overcoming challenges and facing your shadows. So it's like, yeah, you went into a place of isolation, but that isolation only brought growth, where you're like, I'm going to win at all costs and I'm not going to give up, right? So the next card that we got was the High Priestess. I'm just going to show you. It's so beautiful. My favorite card. And of course, it's an owl. Because owls are all about intuition. So beautiful, right? Staring right into you at your soul. And is that the moon behind it? Yeah, that's the moon behind it. And it's on crystals. So crazy. So the High Priestess represents intuition, inner wisdom, and the subconscious mind. It often signifies a time of heightened psychic awareness and encouraging trusting one's intuition rather than relying solely on logic. She's also associated with secrets, mystery, and the divine feminine. So what I was saying, right? You had to make a decision to venture out on your own. and let go of the things that weren't serving you. That caused a lot of challenges, conflicts, going into isolation, facing your shadows, growing. Now you're at that place where you're stepping into your high priestess. You've been spending so much time in isolation, so much time in reflection, so much time leading with your intuition and sometimes giving into the magnetic pull, but you've been really trusting, leading with your intuition, and now you're unlocking all these psychic gifts, this confidence, this self-love, this inner wisdom that exists within you, and you probably get channeled messages. So it's like you're getting all these messages because they exist within you. Your highest self knows these messages, and so it's just sending it to you because you already knew this wisdom before, right? So by you tapping in and trusting your intuition, these and co-creating with Source, you're tapping into your inner wisdom, and Source is giving you the inner wisdom of the universe, and both of you guys are co-creating it together to get messages out, let's say, right? So it's like you have this inner wisdom in you, and now you're just allowing it to flow out of you. So it's like you're trusting, you're working on not just trusting logic and leading with feeling and logic, right? So you're blending the two together, where you get a feeling, and then you analyze it. Hey, what is this feeling? What is it about? What is it trying to tell me? And you start to self-reflect and look into it. And other times you get a feeling and you just act on it. Whether it's working on your passion, you get a feeling, you don't think it through, you don't logically analyze it, you say, okay, I'm getting that. So it's like you're acting on your aligned action when you know that it's like something that's not a quote unquote big decision, when you're being consistent with something. So for example, if it's like your passion and your intuition is telling you to act on your passion, you do it. If your intuition is telling you to go wash the dishes, you get up and you go do it. If your intuition is saying, okay, get the kids ready, head to the pool or head outside or whatever, you do it. So it's like you're leading with what your intuition is telling you in every moment, and you're not telling yourself like, oh no, I'll do it later, no, I'll do it later. You literally get up in that moment and do. So you're leading with your intuition in those senses. When it comes to big decisions and what your path is and what's the outcome, you're like, you are not necessarily leading with your intuition, but you're surrendering. You're trusting the divine, that they're gonna work that all out. All you have to do is lead with your intuition in every moment. So it's like you have this aura where people are feeling that you're like mysterious, that like you have these secrets about you. You have secrets to the universe, basically, right? You have secrets of what exists within you, your inner wisdom. And you're standing in your divine feminine now, right? Like you feel like a completely different person. Yeah, there's things you still need to work on, but the person you were 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, like you're completely transformed. You are the butterfly emerging, and you're the caterpillar went into their cocoon, their isolation, and emerging into a butterfly. I use that analogy a lot because that's exactly what the divine feminine is experiencing. So the next card that we got was the Magician. And of course, it's right after the High Priestess. Like these two cards are amazing together. It's crazy, and it's like a raccoon. So cute. Oh, so cute. So the Magician points to talents, capabilities, and resources at disposable to succeed. The message is to tap into one's full potential rather than holding back, especially when there is especially when there is a need to transform something. So exactly what I was saying about transform. So you're tapping into your psychic gifts, you're going into your inner wisdom, and you're recognizing what your talents are. That the world is your oyster. Like you can accomplish anything. And if you aren't and you're still holding back a little, don't hold back. Keep going. Keep pushing forward. Like keep exploring. If something doesn't feel like the right path for you, that you're like, oh, I don't know if I feel excited about this, I don't know if I really like this anymore, it's okay. You're just because you've been working on something for 5-10 years, let's say. Arcanics, he talks about it, like he was writing this tale of this imaginary world, and he spent like 10 years, I think, or 15 years doing it, and he created all these books and everything, and then something happened with him, with someone trying to steal his content, blah blah blah. But at that moment, he made a decision. In the moment, the gut feeling that he got, and he's like, and he started burning everything and deleting everything and everything. He's like, I'm not putting my energy into that anymore. I'm putting all my energy into Arconic. So it's like he released all that hard work that he did and put it into the thing that he is passionate about now and feels like it's meaningful. So it's like all that work that you do. Say you're recording videos.